Welcome back, everybody. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer. Happy Valentine's Day. Today, I've got a brand new one for you from Wanderback Beer Works. This one is a 6.8% hazy IPA, and it's called Prismatic. Where are my coasters? I know you can't even see them, but important. All right, about the color you would expect. Let's see how hazy it really is. All right, yeah, no seeing through that one. Super hazy. On the nose. Very citrus forward. There's some dankness deep down in there. Picking up maybe notes of pineapple, definitely orange. Yeah, it's very bright up front, but very dank also on the nose. Let's give it a try. Oh, wow. This one is very bright and very dank at the same time, and neither of them seem to diminish the other. Comes together very, very nicely, and it finishes actually the dankness. One sec. Yeah, the dankness really settles in, and it finishes without being too bitter or dank. Hey. Yeah, I figured I'd just go right for it. None of that small talk. Let me get into it. Yeah, it's got medium thickness on the palate. Very, very drinkable. The the dankness of it isn't enough to how do I put it? So for a non IPA drinker, I don't think the dankness would be enough to scare anyone off, especially because of how clean and smooth it finishes. If that made any sense at all. Yeah, for as earthy and dank as it is up front, it really finishes nice and smooth and clean. There's still a little bit of back end dankness and bitterness, but I mean it balances out very nicely at the end. It's balanced very nicely throughout, but very sweet and bright up front. You get citrusy notes, tropical notes. I'm just starting off. It'll get better. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Not much complexity, like I said. Your citrusy sweetness and tropical sweetness up front, a little bit of dankness in there, stays with you throughout, but kind of fades off at the end. Doesn't finish bitter, doesn't finish dry, and that lends to the drinkability. Despite all that, it does keep you coming back for another sip. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Wanderback Beer Works, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting, maybe it's something you might want to try, maybe you have some questions, why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you would like to find this one, it just dropped this past week, and I didn't need a Wanderback order this week. So it's not available right this very second at Joe Canals in Marlton, but it will be this Thursday or Friday. Otherwise, I'm sure you can find it around, but I only shop at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. This one is a, how do I put it? It's a refreshing change from your typical hazy IPA. You definitely have all of the elements that are typically there, but the way it comes together is pretty unique to Wanderback in the way that they do things. It's very typical of a Wanderback IPA, but at the same time, there's enough different in it to separate it from the other ones. Having said all of that, I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. This is probably, besides the first version of Risk Management, this is my favorite Wanderback IPA that I've had so far. If you haven't had anything from Wanderback Beer Works, I definitely recommend you. One second. All right. If you haven't had anything from Wanderback Beer Works, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. You will not be disappointed, especially if you're into lagers and pilsners, because that is what they do best. But their IPAs are nothing to shake a stick at either. What did I just say? Anyway, and I can't wait. Hopefully it's sometime this summer. The brewery will be opening in Vineland, New Jersey. I cannot wait to check it out. These guys have been one of my favorite breweries, if not my favorite, since they opened up in May of 24. Yeah. And just there's no sign of them slowing down. They're just going to continue to make amazing beer, especially when the tap room opens and they have a little more freedom to grow in their facility and try a few different things. So definitely looking forward to that. Until then, always good Wanderback on the shelf at Joe Canals in Marlton, and I'm sure everywhere in South Jersey. But like I said, I only shop at Joe Canals in Marlton. That's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. But you know not to go anywhere. What is this? This is Valentine's Day with BJ. This isn't Prismatic by Wanderback. You know, no, this is, I'm in it to win it, man. I've got at least 4 other beers lined up. I made a decision because it's Valentine's Day. No THC beverages. It's going to be a beer night. I'm a single guy. Going to sit back, review some beer, be miserable. It's going to be a blast. So, in the meantime, I have a couple minutes. If you want to drop something in the comments for me to talk about while I take a couple more sips of this one, feel free. But that is exactly what I am going to do. I'm going to sit here, have a couple more sips of this, enjoy it, and got a pretty good lineup coming up. I've got some fun stuff, so you guys won't want to miss that. Whoa! That reminds me, Danny, I never responded to your comment on my last stream. Thank you so much. I don't remember what the comment was, but I just wanted to acknowledge that I forgot to respond to it, and I will do that tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed that one, by the way. All right. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling loose. This is my second beer of the day. I had a warm-up beer earlier just to make sure that, this was going to work. I'm feeling good. I had a great night last night. Went to another wrestling show like I do every Friday night and most Saturday nights. Not tonight, but most Saturday nights. Went and saw an SPO show. Me and Pete the Wall, and of course, Danger Ginger was there, and Pete the Wall and I actually started. We pre-gamed at Spellbound, and that was fantastic. There's apparently I thought their Nitro Coffee Porter Vices was a seasonal, but apparently they're going to keep that year round, which is great news to me. I had that and an 11.5% Imperial Mexican hot chocolate stout called It's Not Yours, It's Mine. Both were amazing. I forget what Pete had. I don't know if that was his thing. But then, so we went to the show, and you guys don't care about that because this is a beer channel. So after the show, we went to Stratosphere, and we filmed a little recap of the SPO show while we were at Stratosphere. But I was sipping on a very, very good German Pilsner. And then after that, I had a rye IPA, I believe, that was really, really good. Stratosphere and Spellbound, both in Mount Holly, New Jersey, excellent places to have a beer. And they're both like one's on either side of where the wrestling show is, although the one is like a mile down and the other one is like a block down. So, but we have our choices when we go to these shows, and it's great. That location, I love it. These breweries are great. Amazing people. It's always a great time. And the beer is the best part. Obviously, it should be. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely expect. Blah, blah, blah. And if you, what am I saying? If you haven't had a chance and you're in Mount Holly, I definitely recommend you check out Spellbound, Stratosphere, and if you feel like having a beer after that, go to Village Idiot. Haven't been there in a while. Things have changed around there, I would imagine, but wow. It's always been a decent time, not a great time, every time I've been there. Beer's hit or miss, but catch it on the right day, it's good stuff. Yeah, no one's going there based on that endorsement. I'm fine with that. The only reason I went there left, so you know. Anyway, I think next up, what do you want? What do you want a Bach? You want a dark Czech Pilsner? You want, what else do I have? A sour IPA? I don't know. I have so many beers in there, but there's a few that I had my eye on that I have like lined up and like ready to go, and I can't remember what they all are now. But I'm so happy I'm able to do a beer stream right now because I've been getting so many samples and there's so many things I wanted to review that are just filling up my fridge. All right, we have a winner. What are you, chicken? All right, Bach it is. All right, make it easy. And I'm actually kind of happy that I get to drink that right now because I have an amazing glass that I'm going to drink that out of. Hey, what's up, last beer? Cheers, my man. Yeah, I'll put this one aside and go ahead and get that one set up. Sit tight, listen to the tunes. I will be about 45 seconds, maybe, and we're gonna get bopped up. What do we got? What do we got? Okay, all right, yeah, something funky. All right. Whew. Super excited to try this. I know I've had it. Well, let me turn the camera on and get a load of this glass. It's so cool. Orange and black on tap. Thank you. I forget dude's name, but thank you, dude from Yingling, who hooked me up with this glass and an awesome shirt that I will be wearing in a future video. But yeah, this one is from Yingling. It is unfortunately seasonal. I think at one point it may have been year round, but right now it comes out once a year. You get one shot at it, and that's that. This one is a German style Bock, obviously. Give you a look at the can here. I cannot find an ABV, but I'm going to assume it's something around 4.5, maybe 5%. I'll look it up. Fine. Yingling Bock ABV. That's what I said. 5.3. Okay. So, yeah. Right in the neighborhood you would expect the Bock to be. Bock to be. No, that was right. Yeah. All right. Super excited to try this one. I'm not huge on Yingling, but some of their stuff is very, very good. Yes, Lord Chesterfield I really like. I haven't had it in probably 20 years, but amazing beer. Got to get my hands on that again. I know it's available through our distributors, but my store doesn't carry it, and I can't just bring something in like that. You know what I mean? Unless I have like people asking for it. So, you know, if the demand is there, maybe I'll get my hands on a 6-pack. But honestly, I mean, Yingling isn't really usually my first choice. Yingling I associate with growing up and turning 21, and either your choices in the bar were Bud Miller, Coors, and then Stella, Bass, maybe Red Stripe. You know what I mean? And Yingling was always like the not local, but the more crafty option, I guess you could say. Um, so I had plenty of times with Yingling when I was younger, and I kind of nowadays drinking a lot of more craft beer. I don't usually drink too much Yingling. I'm not really in situations. I don't put myself in situations where I drink a lot of Yingling, but I do enjoy what they do. So yeah, let's get into this Bock beer. Oh, that's hard to pour with that there. All right, no, that is the color you want right there. Oh my god, this looks delicious. All right, got a good little head on that. Good carbonation. I know you can't see it, but I can. Great color. Yes, fine. That's not the right app. Yeah, you can see. Oh, there's that carbonation. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that cascading. It's not even a nitro. All right. On the notes. Notes of caramel, maybe toffee. Very, very slightly roasty, but you know, it's not dominant in the aroma. No, mainly what you get is that like caramel toffee sweetness. Let's give it a try. Okay. I was afraid from the aroma that this one would be a little too sweet, and it's really not. It's very, very. It is sweet, but the low to mid, low medium flavor intensity really dulls down that sweetness without dulling down the flavor completely. Very smooth, very easy drinking. The subtle sweetness is very pleasant. It's not cloyingly sweet, like I said. Very subtle, very and I'm not like I'm not typically a fan of caramel or toffee flavors. But this one it's pleasant. It's not overpowering. It's just very smooth. You get very, very slight roasty notes. But the main feature is the sweetness. The sweetness hits you up front and stays with you throughout the whole sip. Very light on the palate, very easy drinking, medium to light on the palate. Very easy drinking though. I could see, I think this was available in 12 packs. I could see, picking up a 12 pack of this and drinking like 10 of them and just being sick of it forever and having 2 of these in my fridge. Just the way I get sick of beer. But no, this one is, it's not something I could drink every day, but it's definitely nice to have once in a while. It also does a lot to set itself apart from other box that you may find in not grocery stores, liquor stores. What am I talking about? It does a lot to set itself apart. It's very. I feel like I would be able to pick this out of a lineup, or at least differentiate between this and like Shiner Bock or whatever else is out there. Yeah. Oh, the puck has writing on it. It says Ben shot. All right, I have no idea what that means. What? If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Yingling, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments. If you would like to find this one, my distributor screwed me over and didn't tell me about it until it wasn't available anymore. So you cannot find this one at Joe Canals in Marlton. But I'm sure because it was sold out through my distributor, you can find it in almost every other liquor store around us. Rating. Very good stuff. Very easy drinking. This is everything you would want out of a bock. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Oh, and wow. And the distributor didn't even tell me about it. It was the guy from Yingling who came in and was like, oh, the distributor has Bach right now. And I'm like, this is the first I'm hearing about this. I'm going to order it tomorrow. And by the time I got around to it the next day, it was out. So, but that's not my fault. That's not his fault. I kind of blame the distributor for that one. But whatever. That's where I was. Okay. If you haven't had anything from Yingling, it's definitely worth checking out some of what they do. I know, like I said, when I think of Yingling, I think like beer that I drank 20 years ago. Like Yingling Lager, tasting that again is like tasting my 20s. And personally, that's not my thing, but I know like it's a very good lager. And, some of the better stuff that's available on most bars out there. And all their other varieties are amazing too, but nothing is overpowering. Everything is very drinkable. Yeah, and if you haven't had Yingling by now, what are you doing? Even accidentally, people have had Yingling. If you're from the East Coast, anyway. Yeah. So that's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. But stick around, everybody. You know what it is. Yeah, that was very good beer. I'm super disappointed now that Kramer Beverage let me down with that one. But you know what happened. It happens. They're the big dogs. They're the guys. You know what I mean? They don't care. They're just like, yeah, we sell enough Miller Lite. We don't care about these, little one-offs. So that's what I'm dealing with. Um, yeah. So what do I have next? Oh, Czech Dark Lager. Um, Sour IPA. There's a Pilsner. Kind of really want to try it, but I don't know if I want to go back to Pilsner. Then again, sour IPA. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe this would be the best spot for the Pilsner. Um, and then there's so much more in the fridge. If my tolerance allows, I'll be on for hours. But I doubt that's going to happen. If it does, I do not want to watch the last hour or so of the video. Um, so yeah, I've got a Pilsner, a sour IPA. Let me go look. Let's see. Oh, Pilsner, sour IPA, dark Czech lager, and then I'll just. Ow! I have some ciders here that I really want to try, but maybe not tonight. I have a KCBC West Coast. Okay. Wow. I have a hazy winter IPA, an IPA with blood orange. Oh, wow. Blonde ale. And then a bunch of THC beverages that I'm not drinking tonight. All right. Well, I think I've decided to go Pilsner next. And then after that, I think I'm going to go dark Czech lager or dark Czech Pilsner. But for now, I'm going to have a couple more sips of this. This puck is so cool. Look at that. That's awesome. And I know it's gimmicky and everything, and that's the only reason I like it. But come on, Flyers, Yingling, glass with a puck going into it. That's awesome. You know what? I want to let that actually. I want to let that actually warm up a little bit and get to temperature, so that the next time I try it, you know what I mean. Maybe oxidize a little bit, some different flavors will unlock, whatever. But in the meantime, I'm going to finish this because it's an IPA, and warm hazy IPAs are not quite as good as warm bucks. Hmm. I really didn't expect this one to be so bright up front. What is my hair doing? There we go. Whatever. I didn't really expect this one to be so bright up front. It's really got that almost like Sunny D orangey sweetness up front. Oh wow! And as it warmed up a little bit, the earthiness actually kind of died down a little bit. Maybe it's just the Bach kind of, you know. I got a lot of flavors and textures coating my and ingredients coating my mouth right now, so maybe that's the case. I'm not really picking up the dankness as much, but I'm definitely getting ooh, bubble in my throat. Definitely getting that citrusy sweetness up front still. Hey Chris, if you're still watching, I hope you're going to clip this, man, because I'm too lazy too. I spent like 4 or 5 hours today clipping something, or not clipping something, but editing something for my other channel that we may not even post. So don't want to do much editing now. Oh yeah, no, that's amazing stuff. My second favorite IPA that I've had from Laundryback by far. I'm going to say Risk Management the first time, this Risk Management the second time, Cromulent, Extra Cromulent. That's all. What's this called? Prismatic? Yeah. Okay. Whew. All right. What did I decide next? I'll remember when I get over there. Pilsner. Yeah. Pilsner. All right. Let me get set up for that. I will be right back. Oh. No, it's kind of worse for me today because I started with like 27 minutes of footage and only cut it down to 20, but then I had to add footage in the edit because we forgot to talk about something and I had to bring it up. So I had to add additional footage to it. It took all day. I had to delete so much just for the space to be able to save it. Yeah, it was rough. Somebody out there, please clip that. Uh, or maybe I'll get some motivation tomorrow, but I doubt it. Anyway, this next one is from the very southeastern tip of New Jersey. Well, not quite, but from Wildwood. Whatever. I'll be right back. Yeah. I love how on the AI thumbnail I generated, like, it didn't pick up the bead in Wander Pack, so it looks like it says rack. That's AI for you, you know? This next one is from Mudhead Brewing. Why did I say Mudhead? This next one is from Mudhen Brewing in Wildwood, New Jersey. One more time. Okay, I'm all right with that. I figured that was what you meant. No, wow, okay, I'm down. All right. I've been honestly, that's funny because I made that song a very long time ago, but I've been listening to a lot of Mini Bosses lately, and I don't know if you know what that is, but it is a band that covers old school NES songs, but on like modern instruments, and they're amazing. If you haven't heard the Mini Bosses, they're not on Spotify, but you can find them on YouTube. Their album Brass is a good example of what they're capable of. I know there's a lot more of their stuff out there and a lot of live performances, but if you listen to Brass or Brass is what to listen to. They're amazing. And yeah, that's funny you said that because I've been listening to a lot of them in the last couple of weeks. I've like had just old school Nintendo theme songs stuck in my head. You wonder what goes on in my head in my day-to-day life, and I'm just walking around like do 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 do, you know. Um, and that was I just like mimicked the Punch Out theme, and that's not even the one that was in my head all week. I I had Castlevania 2, Castlevania, Metroid, the breakdown from Super Mario 2, the Underworld theme. Oh my god. Anyway, enough about Nintendo theme songs and the mini bosses. This one is from Mudhen Brewing from Wildwood, New Jersey. It is a 5% Pilsner, and it's called Mudhen Pils. Looks like we got some stuff to read here. Mudhen Brewing Company is named after the first rail line to visit. Whoops. The first rail line to bring visitors to Wildwood. I'll start from the top. Mudhen Brewing Company is named after the first rail line to bring visitors to Wildwood, New Jersey. Pilsner style lager is crafted to reflect the island upon which it is brewed, welcoming, refreshing, and satisfying. While on break at the shore, enjoy this crisp taste. While on break at the shore, or reminiscing of when, enjoy this crisp, clean taste provided the highest quality malt and American-made type hops we can find. All right, that was terrible. Let's go. All right. Okay, so it's the color you would expect the Pilsner to be. No need to get a light behind it. You can see no haze here, no darkness, just on the nose. Very sweet up front. Almost pastry sweet, not quite that far. But yeah, no sign of any kind of bitterness or anything lingering in there. Just getting that sweetness up front. Let's give it a try. Okay, yeah. This one is, and I think it was last time. Yeah, this is kind of similar to the Obscura Pilsner that I had last week. It's not what I look for in a Pilsner. It's too sweet up front, and there's not enough back end bitterness. Uh, as I let the sip linger and talk for a second, I do get like a little back end dryness, earthiness, maybe, but it's not very present in the actual sip. Or, um, yeah, after the initial sip, the sweetness on the front end definitely died down, but it's still very pastry like on the front end, and not quite like I'm used to like a typical like bready sweetness, and this one, it's a different kind of sweetness up front, and then it's weird. Oh, how on the back end there's no bitterness, but there's a lot of like dry earthiness. Yeah, this one is growing on me after a couple sips. It it kind of, as the taste buds acclimate, it kind of bounces out really nicely, and very interesting. How the first on the nose and the first sip, I was like, yeah, no, and now it's like, all right, yeah. I also the back end dryness and bitterness, not bitterness. It's not very bitter on the back end. The back end dryness is doing a lot to keep you coming back for another sip. So that definitely has something to do with it there. But yeah, the transition is complete. My taste buds have completely acclimated, and it's not the pastry sweet up front and subtly earthy on the back end Pilsner that it was when I took the first sip. Now it's just balanced out, and the back end earthiness is kind of coming up and dulling down the front of the next sip, if that makes any sense. The earthiness is sitting just on the palate, and the sweetness from the front end of the sip, it just doesn't hit that sweetness that it did before that earthiness was there. I will, I will shut up now. That was ridiculous. I don't know what I'm talking. It made sense to me. Yeah, very light on the palate, very crushable. Kind of, I take that back. What I said earlier, it is. It's not similar to the Obscura Pilsner that I tried last week. It's got its own thing going on. Once it balances out, and like the initial first couple of sips are not representative of what this beer tastes like throughout. Those first couple of sips, once the taste buds acclimated, this beer totally changed and became a lot better. Right now, became a lot better than it was initially. Yeah, what's that word? Oh, I have a message. Cool. You're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. And while you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is BJ Drinks Beer, and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Mudhead, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it? This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, I think it's available in the variety pack that we carry, the Mud Hen variety, uh, at Joe Canals and Marlton, but we do not have just individual six packs of this beer. So if this is something you might want to see at Joe Canals and Marlton and potentially grab a six pack, go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and let me know. Rating. I'm going to give this one a 3.75 out of 5. Um, Not what I look for in a Pilsner initially. That's what I thought. But then, yeah, it kind of grew into something that it got a little better as it went on. And it's still not really what I look for in a Pilsner, but still very good stuff. 3.75 out of 5. If you haven't had anything from Mudhead, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. If you're an IPA fan, Wildwood Haze is excellent stuff. If you're a Pilsner fan, I mean, it's worth a try. Yeah, and a lot of their dark stuff that I've had is very, very good as well. Ooh, what? Sorry. And if you haven't been to the brewery in Wildwood, New Jersey, I recommend you check it out, but it's not your typical South Jersey brewery experience. This place is a party. This place, it's there's food. It's weird. It's not like going to any other. It's huge. It's not like going to most other breweries in South Jersey. It's an attraction. It's a tourist brewery, if you will. But still, I definitely recommend. It's worth going there and having a few beers. I hear the food's great. I don't know. I went there the night before Easter, and I just eaten a ton of food. So like, I think yeah, that was the only time I was there. It was the night before Easter, a couple years back. Um, but yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're in the area. If you're down the shore, um, the beer's excellent. It's going to be a good time. Might be a little crowded. Might be a little bit too party atmosphere, but there's good food. I don't know. Well, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time. Cheers. But stick around. I don't know if tolerance is going to allow for another beer at this point. Oh my god, it's Rick Blade. Of course, Rick. Of course, I'll be your Valentine. You're gonna be there Saturday, right, man? I hope to see you Saturday. He's probably not even there anymore. I hope you're there Saturday. If not, definitely get a hold of me. Yeah, man. Whether it's through the channel or whatever. Um, we'd love to have you on again at some point. And yeah, man, get a hold of me. Yeah, I've had a few beers, so I'm not banging on all cylinders right now. I think I might have one review left in me, maybe. Well, that's weak. Man, my tolerance has still not recovered since, oh my god. My tolerance has still not recovered since the end of dry January. It's only been 2 weeks, but like, have a beer or two a night here or there, and like, it's honestly, I'll wake up with a half drank beer, uh, more often than usual. I guess it's, I'm still adjusting back to my lifestyle or whatever. But yeah, it's oh man, that took a lot out of me. Whew. Um, maybe I'll have enough lives left in me to do another one. So many samples in there. Um, with dry January, and this is only my second beer stream of 2026, and I didn't really do too much last stream. My tolerance wasn't there. Um, there's one I really want to do next, but I've had a few beers in me, and I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to mess this next one up. But yeah, so I'm not going to do that next. But I do have a sour IPA. I do have a blonde ale. I do have an IPA with orange. We can figure it out. We can work together. Oh my god, it's only 48 minutes in. Maybe I should have a THC beverage and slow myself down a little bit. Oh yeah, as this warms up, I mean the caramel, the toffee, like everything, all those sweet notes definitely intensify. You're still getting those subtle roasty notes, but yeah, it's the same but a little more intense on the sweet end. Okay, that's all. I was tempted to do that the whole time. No, that's not coming out. That's in there. That must have been a heck of a slap shot. So while this glass was being blown, it somehow, while it was still heated and malleable, this tiny little puck was shot, and in the time frame, it didn't break the glass because the glass was still malleable, but it stuck there, and then the glass cooled to the point where it is now solid. There's a story here. No, that's I don't know. That just blows my mind. All right, enough about this stupid glass. It's tough. Like when I go to first of all, okay, I keep thinking it's an Oreo looking at it. Uh, but also like when I go to drink it, I look down and it's like kind of in the way. But like I never know how the liquid is going to negotiate itself around it. Like, well, that that it wasn't in the way there. But if I turn it like this, yeah, no, the liquid kind of like went around and hit me at a weird angle that I wasn't ready for. Man. Yeah, no. But no, awesome glass. Thank you, dude from Yingling, whose name I can't remember. I wish Kramer Beverage would have told me this was available sooner. I should use the restroom, and then well, let me do that, and I'll be back, and then we'll figure out what's going to happen next together, all of us. See tunes. Yeah. So I figured out what I'm going to do next without your help. Thank you very much. I was going through the random singles and the random samples, and I came across one that I don't even think is available anymore. But it's one that like I should probably drink now, or there's no point in drinking it later. So, 1 second. There we go. All right. So this next one from Conshohocken. It is a hazy winter IPA. Cannot find the ABV. Hold on. Got a sample sticker I got to deal with. There we go. Come on. There we go. There it is. All right. It's called 2 Hour Delay. Still waiting for an ABV on this. Oh, there it is. 6.5. So this one is a 6.5% winter IPA. Hazy winter IPA. Hey, what's up, Bart? Man, it's been a while. Good to hear from you, man. All right. 6.5% hazy IPA from Conshohocken. 2-hour delay. Winter is win- winter's still here, and we all know it. But winter beer season is coming to an end. The spring beers have already sprung. The St. Patty's Day beers are out, and so I might as well drink this one before it's no longer relevant. Weak. Getting ahead of myself. I guess we'll get a light behind that. See how hazy this beer really is. That's not the right app. I did the same thing last time. All right. Yeah. It's a little brighter than your typical hazy. I guess with the light behind it, it was, but in this case, no. It's what you would expect color wise. Definitely hazy on the notes. Oh wow. Okay, so all right. I need a more accurate sniff, but initially, I picked up a lot of like tropical fruitiness. Oh yeah. My nose wasn't lying. Yeah. That's all I'm really getting is the sweet tropical fruitiness. Let's give it a try. Okay. Um. Hmm. Up front, you're definitely getting sweet tropical notes. You're getting a little bit of juiciness, a little bit of fruitiness, and then it fades into again, it fades into, and I think this might just be because that's what's on my palate right now. Is I have all of that dankness from the last one. Um, I definitely need to like take a sip of water or something and just like kind of rinse the palate a little bit. Hold on, be right back. All right, a little better. Yeah, so not as dank on the back end as I initially thought, but it's still definitely got that back end bitterness. Um, the sweetness kind of sticks around throughout, but dies on the back end, and the bitterness takes over. This is I love the upfront, the initial, the sweetness, the juicy sweetness, but then I don't know, it kind of turns into something I don't like on the back end. Uh, uh, yeah, and as the taste buds acclimate a little bit more, I'm not really digging this one at all. The front end sweetness has died, and now I just get like just an uncomfortable dankness and nothing wintry about this one. Hold on. Whoa. Oh god, there's that much left. 2 hour delays are full bodied, flavor packed, hazy winter IPA. Notes of tropical notes of tropical fruit, citrus, coconut, balanced with pleasant hints of pine and hop spice. All right, that guides me a little bit, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, no, it's the balance isn't there. Like, okay, so let me, having read that, let me go ahead and okay. So by this point, I'm picking up hints of coconut. By this point, the tropical and citrusy notes up front have died. Um, the pine in the back end is mainly like what sticks with me the most, and I don't know what hop spice is. This one is not coming together nicely for me as an experienced beer drinker. So I can't imagine that your average everyday like, oh, I'm gonna try a craft beer drinker who would grab this would enjoy it. Um, Not gonna go through the whole spiel here, but I'm gonna rate this one. I'm stuck between 2 and 2.5, so I guess it's only fair to give it a 2.25 out of 5. Um, I don't get like seasonal, wintry out of this. I just get like hastily put together, and the flavor I'm left with, and the flavor that I remember most is like the least pleasant flavor imaginable. Yeah, I haven't had a lot from Concha and I'm really disappointed about this one. Uh, is that all? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, super disappointing. And I've only, as you can see, this is a pint glass. I've had maybe 2 ounces of this. Not a fan. Uh, sorry, Bart. I didn't see the chat right away. Uh, no, I mean, in theory, yeah. And it's not that it's like old. It, yeah, this was just canned in mid-November. You know what I mean? So like, there's no reason it should be that bad, but it really is just. Yeah. Once the taste buds acclimate and that like sweetness in the front end goes away, there's nothing redeeming about this. Yeah. Uh, yeah, this one's a dud, and it's okay. Concha Hawk and I've had some stuff that I really like from them, but like, not a fan of this. Whew. Well, after reviewing 4 beers in, oh my god, just over an hour. Okay, well, at least I didn't drink. I only drank like 3 full beers in an hour. Man, I was wondering why I was starting to feel a little loopy. Anyway, having said that, after all that, so I'm not going to review any THC beverages, but I feel that right now it might be time to just crack one and chill. And if anyone out there in the chat, wants to throw anything in, that'd be great. But yeah, I think because I definitely think I'm going to dump this, and I definitely think after a 6.8 percenter, a 5.3 percenter, and a 5 percenter, and a couple sips of this 6.5 percenter in just over an hour. I'm not legally allowed to stream. So I don't think I should drink any more beer. And I don't. The only recreational beer I have in my fridge right now is a 9%er that I after this dry January, it's different. I just haven't been enjoying it as much. Um, and I don't drink that right now on camera. So yeah, I don't know. I'm at a crossroads here. Uh, I definitely don't want to finish that. I may take a couple more sips, but I definitely need another flavor in my life right now. So let me check inventory. Be right back. Yeah, I think I came up with the perfect way to end the stream. It's not beer, it's not THC. That's right, everybody. You've tuned in to BJ Drinks Root Beer. Uh, this has been in my fridge for like 2 weeks, and every time I remember, every time I remember about it, I'm like, oh, I gotta drink that. And it's a non-alcoholic, non-THC infused, just the root beer. It's just the root beer. I've had it before. It's I don't do a lot of sweets. I don't drink a lot of soda. So this is gonna be like super sweet, but I'm fine with that. After that last beer that like assaulted my taste buds. Yeah, I need something like this, and yeah, man, let's go. Ellicottville, I do have some beer from Ellicottville that I'm going to be reviewing on future episodes, but um, this is just something that I acquired and it's been sitting there, and it's like I just haven't had an opportunity to drink it, and every time I did, I didn't remember about it, so I remembered about it now. Let's go. Oh my god, the aroma's jumping out of the bottle. I shouldn't be pouring this into a glass. It's just a soda, but I'm honestly not comfortable drinking out of bottles. So I just knocked the coaster off and it rolled out of reach. I don't have another coaster, so it looks like on the nose. Oh my god, just everything you would want from a root beer. Let's go. The carbonation is intense, but oh my god, flavor wise, it reminds me a lot, and I know this is. It reminds me a lot of those like root beer candies, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, super sweet, excellent flavor. Ellicottville, like their beer is one thing. I have a chocolate cherry stout that I'm dying to try that I've probably had before, but I have a short memory in my fridge, waiting to be reviewed. But like I said, at this point in the night, I don't need anything else. Um, but this is right up my alley. This is exactly what I needed right now. Nice, sweet, refreshing, no like bitterness or anything. Just an absolutely amazing root beer. Ah, that's nice. I don't like. I'm actually realizing now that I'm on camera just about to like chug a root beer, and that's not what I need. But honestly, I don't want to sit here and take my time with it and talk. So yeah, I think I'm just going to enjoy this in the in yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I think I'm just going to enjoy this off camera in the privacy of my own apartment. Everybody, hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether you didn't interact with any other human being like myself, or whether you had to go on a weird, uncomfortable date when you just want to be back at home doing your thing. Whatever. Hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day. Um, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this root beer in peace, and going to go ahead and dump that off camera. But yeah, I'll see everybody if blah, 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 if anybody's interested. Oh, we have comments. Cheers, Ronnie. Good to see you. Bart, take care, man. Good to see you. Everybody, hope you enjoyed your Valentine's Day. I'll see you tomorrow on BJ and DG Talk Wrestling for episode number 61, 62. Ah, man, I gotta look. I had to bring it up, didn't I? Yeah, we're going live at 5 like we do just about every Sunday. But what episode number is this? I know it's not a big deal, but it's important to me. 62. I think I said that. I think I was right. I could be wrong. Yeah, so everybody, I hope if you're a wrestling fan or if you just can't get enough of me, you join us tomorrow at 5 o'clock on BJ and DG Talk Wrestling for BJ and DG Talk Wrestling episode 62. If not, I'll see you at some point next weekend for another live stream. And yeah, until then, everybody be good to each other. Take care of yourselves. Take care of everybody else. And I'll see you soon. That's all I got for this time. Until next time. Cheers.